Hey y'all, it's your girl Mrs. D Green again. Thank you so much for coming over to my channel, and please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And make sure you really comment and engage. I will reply back. I am all about engagement. Just keep it cute and respectful because I don't tolerate that disrespectful rhetoric. So if you want to spew ignorance, go on to a channel that is more of your liking because we don't do that over here, okay? All right, so what I wanted to come on here and discuss today is I want to call this somewhat of a pop culture rant because it's really bothering me, the lengths that people are going to discredit and try to destroy Bozoma St. John based on how they feel or perceive she treated Garcelle on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion. From what we've heard, I guess there was an exchange in which Bozoma gave an opinion that kind of went against her showing support and solidarity with Garcelle. And then Bozoma's Watch What Happened Live, the Watch What Happens Live appearance she made with Erica Jane. The reason why this is going to be a rant is because I'm just coming from a place of we can never be fucking happy. We are so crabs in a barrel. Like, our mentality is take down, right? It's disgusting. Yes, it saddens me. I wish they would have had more solidarity as well, but I recently was on a panel where this topic was discussed heavily and people got really passionate, me being one of them. And the position I was coming from was, because let's just get this straight, I used to fight hard for Garcelle. Representation was the only thing I was focused on, even to the degree where I excused a lot of what Garcelle did to the other ladies because her being the only Black on a platform that has historically not had Black women, that was very important to me because I myself am a Black woman that shows up in a lot of white spaces or spaces with others where I am the only one. In fact, I have a global meeting weekly, right, that I attend with my job, and I am the only Black person. And I'm talking, there's people from countries, they're from Shanghai, they're from France, they're from India, they're from the Philippines, they're from Ireland, EMEA, Egypt. They come from everywhere. Yet I'm the only Black woman in that space. So I just want to make that clear. I am very protective of that. And that's where I was coming from whenever I would ride for Garcelle. So I would excuse a lot of her behaviors, even things I saw her do against other Black women, even if they were biracial, because Garcelle is monoracial. Garcelle was never the one to try to step up and always stand in solidarity for other Black women, And some of the things that she went through as a housewife, they were disgusting. Like, the statement against her children, I don't condone that, them leaking her Playboy pics. I don't condone that either, but that's been done to other housewives. So it's almost as if there was an expectation for Garcelle to be absolved from the pain and the scrutiny that you have to undergo as a housewife because she was Black. And even with that, I rode for her. I supported Garcelle. So Garcelle and anybody that loves her cannot say that people have not been supporting Garcelle. Well, Usher's and Bozoma, right? Regardless of what people are saying in the streets about her, her corporate career or whatever, that's a whole separate story. But I will say this. It's easy for people who have not navigated in that space to say that, oh, a Black person is not, for the people if they don't do certain things, if they don't show up as a certain way, if they're not always looking out. There's so much control you have yourself, whether you are a C-suite person or not, because if you don't get funding for certain initiatives that you are to lead, i.e. DEI, there's only so much you can do in the corporation. So yeah, you have the title, but you don't have the sole power. Because there's boards involved. There's other leaders within the C-suite involved that are a part of those decisions. So yeah, you have that title, but you don't necessarily have that execution power. I'll give you an example. There were 2 women at my company, Black women, that I admired and they left. And they weren't there that long. There was one, she was a senior director. Her name was, I won't say her name, but I looked up to her. She tried everything she could to get DEI initiatives off the table, but it seems like all of her initiatives were being met with deaf ears, right? Because the people above her, they have to sign off on that. All right, so she left because she knew she was going against an uphill battle. And then there was a human resources chief officer. She was Black, and she had a reputation in the industry. That's why she was recruited to come to our company. But even she was met with resistance on certain things that she tried to head. And then to slap her, like to make insult to injury even worse, while she was at our company, she was a senior vice president, but she clearly should have been in the C-suite. She should have been a chief human resource officer, the CHRO. They wouldn't give that to her. They would not restructure the career framework to give her that title. Yet when she left, her replacement, who happens to be from Ireland, was placed in a chief human resource officer role. So again, it's bigger than, and I hate when people ignorantly say, oh, well, she didn't do this, she didn't do that. Try navigating around corporate America as a leader, as a woman leader, as a Black woman leader, and really see how far you can go. The only power you can really have, if I'm being honest, is if you start your own company. And that's what Bozoma ended up doing. Okay, so that's that on her corporate career. I wish people would stop ignorantly commenting and trying to downplay her accomplishments or criticize how she moved around. If you've read her book and if you've listened to her, she speaks constantly about pivoting. So sorry if she's not one of those people that just stays somewhere out of obligation and hinders her own growth because she's in a limited environment. No, she doesn't have to do that. And that should be respected. Okay? Now, the housewives. I've listened to the interviews. I've been following Bozoma in the media. I have. And from what I've always seen, Bozoma has always promoted solidarity. Okay? She's never gone against Garcelle in any way, shape, or form. She has not. Her interviews have been she's been very mindful on how she speaks in terms of her and Garcelle's relationship. She's even said that the producers couldn't make her do something against her will. Because, we understand sometimes the producers, they manufacture the drama between the ladies. But she's even stated when it comes to her and Garcelle, she wouldn't do that. So there was a scene in season 14 when they went to Dorit's 4th of July barbecue. And at that point, up until that point, Garcelle and her had a pretty amicable, friendly relationship, and they were standing in solidarity. Until Garcelle in that episode calls Bozoma out and puts Bozoma on blast and challenges her on camera, right? So the way I see it, the gloves are off at that point because we're no longer standing in solidarity. Because again, I'm going to go back to that whole, when you're the only one in that space, at least for me, there's an innate affinity for me to to protect the other person coming in. Like, I would never throw if I'm the only one in the space and another person shows up like me that's Black, I would never throw them under the bus openly because I understand how crucial it is that we protect each other. So I'm sorry, Garcelle didn't seem to demonstrate that. And again, I love Garcelle. I do. I still wish her well. She was the first, out of, it was 10 seasons at that point because they had only had one person of color, but they ran her off and disrespected her, Joyce Gerard. She was Puerto Rican. But here comes Garcelle, this beautiful Black woman. So of course I'm going to protect that. But at the same time, I can't sit here and be blind to the things that I've seen. When it comes to other Black women, she has not always been protective. Cherie, she kind of just let fall to the wayside. And Cherie started kind of moving foul. I think there's more that goes on that we see. So we don't know what was going on as to why that broke down. Because I thought that was going to be a successful duo. But it ended up not working out. That was what, season 12? I think it was season 12, yeah. No. Yeah, season 12. And then season 13, Anne Marie. Anne-Marie Wiley, I think her name is, Marcellus Wiley's wife. I didn't watch that season, but from what I heard, her and Garcelle were going against each other. Garcelle wasn't standing in solidarity with her. She was not. And I don't care if Anne-Marie is biracial. Again, there's less of us. So even the biracials count when they show up on those platforms, and I'm the only. Yeah, I'm going to protect you too. Okay? Let's just keep it real, right? Let's keep it real, y'all. So for people to go so hard on Boz with so much vitriol because she's playing the housewives game now. All bets are off, right? Again, you put me on blast on camera, Garcelle. So I'm not going to play nicey nice anymore. I tried my best, but now it's a housewives game. It's not solidarity. So Bozoma tried to play the game of solidarity. She did. I think we have foggy memories. We have foggy memories. So we got to stop. We got to stop. Like we're already 400 years plus behind the 8 ball. Okay? We need to uplift each other more. And I know it's better said in theory than it is in practice, because sometimes we make it hard on each other. We do. There are some people who are rooted in ignorance, so they mentally can't get out of their own way. And that's okay. We'll pray for those. But in this situation with Garcelle and Boz, we need to stop. Bozoma is not wrong. Okay, she's playing the game no differently than Garcelle has played the game over the last 5 seasons. Okay, so we got to give her the grace in that. We got to stop. Like these comments calling her a coon, talking about her hair, calling her an influencer, downplaying her career. It's like, God, like we are some of the most angry and hateful people sometimes. So disrespectful. You don't ever really hear others talk about their own kind like this, at least at length like this. It only takes one thing for us to start openly discrediting each other. I hate it. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Get some joy. Get some Jesus in your life, okay? It is what it is. Garcelle is no victim. Everybody in life and on Housewives is meant to be challenged. You are not exempt from challenges being thrown your way. It's how we evolve as people. Okay, and Garcelle has been able to gracefully skate around the challenges that have been thrown her way. And I was one of those people that wanted her to have that because of what she was dealing with, being the only. I wanted her to have that grace. But what I'm not going to do, I'm not going to allow for her being the first to now we have to destroy Bozoma for challenging her or whatever happened at the reunion and what she did on Watch What Happens Live. That is disgusting. Okay? So that's my pop culture rant. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Comment, share your thoughts. There's a very heated discussion on one of my favorite YouTubers' channels, Andrew Gabor. Shout out to you, Andrew Gabor. I forget the name of the video, but I'll put the title of it in the description. He allows for multiple people to engage on the panel and share their thoughts, and I'm also there. And I start going back and forth with someone that I just feel is a very hateful, militant person that is just not happy in life. That's the sentiment I got from it. And we need to stop going on these platforms sometimes, like sharing our point of view from an unhealed perspective. Because again, to downplay someone based off of what you heard, and then we just overlook all of the context that we have because we want to be mad at Bozoma. We want to just be mad at Bozoma. It's not right. It's not right. All right, you guys. Like I said, please like, comment, share, subscribe. And thank you so much for coming over here to join me for my rant. I hope you have a fabulous Friday. It is Friday, March 28th. And with that being said, peace and blessings to you all. Bye now.